All right, what's going on YouTube? What's going on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all platforms? Welcome back to another Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts. We're reacting to another Mr. Ryan Clark, Get Up, Greeny, the whole Get Up squad. Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and go ahead and hit that bell so you get more notifications like these when Big Pat, does another reaction. Today's reaction, man, we're going NFC East biggest questions for each team. The NFC East consists of the Cowboys, the Washington football team, the Eagles, and yours truly, Big Blue Nation, New York Giants. They're going to be talking about odds of who wins the NFC East and what's the biggest questions for each team. So let's get into it, man. I'm going to be reacting, and I'm going to let you know what I think. Let's go.
Facing some of his teams. Ryan Clark, what's the biggest question in Dallas?
The biggest question in Dallas is, can we fix this defense? Can we figure out if it was Mike Nolan, and can Dan Quinn change things? Can Michael Parsons, can adding Kelvin Joseph to the outside, can all these different moves, Keanu Neal, make this defense better? Oh, and will we be able to block? I feel like Dallas has the most questions, but if they're answered, they can be the best team. All right.
I gotta agree with Mr. Clark there. Dallas does have major issues with their defense. They had a great draft. Not gonna hate on the guys with Michael Parsons, Kelvin Joseph. They brought in Keanu Neal. They still have Smith. They still have Van Der Esch. They still have DeMarcus Lawrence. They still have a lot of pieces. I thought they would re-sign Alden Smith, but it didn't happen. So don't know what happened there, but they have a lot of pieces. They drafted LSU linebacker as well. I forget his name right now. Sorry, guys, I forgot his name, but he drafted him. It was things out there to say that we wanted him in the third round, but they took him right before us. So if they fix those issues on defense, and guess what, people? The Cowboys have questions on their offensive line as well. I know everybody wants to destroy the New York Giants about our offensive line, but their offensive line has questions as well. Injuries are always a concern. Lackluster play. I believe that's the issue with Zeke. I believe Zeke is not the same Zeke without that offensive line being as dominant as they were. And so the Cowboys have major issues, folks. I believe we're a better team. I know we're a better team. We have a better defense. Now, their offense, it might be a little bit more explosive than us, but with our pieces that we just added with Kadarius Toney, the human joystick, Galloway, a healthy Saquon Barkley, who knows? Our offense may be just as explosive as those guys. So the Cowboys have major question marks coming into the season.
All right, so that's a low ceiling, a high ceiling, low floor. Mike T, how about the Giants?
The offensive line, Green, starting at left tackle. Andrew Thomas was drafted before Mekhi Becton of the Jets. He was very inconsistent last year. Nate Solder's coming back. Is he going to be the right tackle, or is it Matt Pert, third-round pick out of UConn, who only started one game last year? Those bookends have big question marks on either side.
Almost always feels like the Giants' big questions are about them.
All right, as you can see, Greeny, not Greeny, but Mike Tannenbaum, they always talk about our offensive line. As well they should. Man. We do have major questions on our offensive line. Is Matt Pert going to start or Solder going to start? In my opinion, our starting offensive line is going to be Andrew Thomas, Will Hernandez, Nick Gates, Zach Fulton, and Matt Pert as our starting offensive line. And then they'll be switching out Pert and Solder and be switching out Lemieux with Zach Fulton. Who knows what Joe Judge has planned for this team. But that's about the only thing I can see, man. We addressed our edge rushers. Our edge rushers are a concern. But if Ojulari plays up to part, and y'all forget Ellerson Smith, man, if this guy develops fast, man, we're going to have two bookends at the edges. And if you want to throw in a little something extra, the second linebacker spot opposite of Blake Martinez. That may be an issue, whether it be Tay Crowder, Reggie Ragland, Devontae Downs, whoever will be in that position. They're going to have to play up to par. But you only have to play one gap, man. You only have to play one gap. And don't be surprised if we put Lorenzo Carter in that second linebacker spot too on certain downs and let Ojulari and Ellerson Smith get after that quarterback. Our defensive line is probably the best in the NFC, probably one of the best in the league. Our defense is going to be one of the best in the league. I say top 5. And if our offense is in the top half of the league, man, the sky's the limit for this team. I think we're the best team in the NFC East between us and the team that you see on the screen now, the Washington football team. But I think I give us the edge. But let's get back into it.
Their offensive line. Jeff Darlington, how about Washington? What's the biggest question?
Well, Washington has a lot to offer right now. The secondary, though, is still a bit of a question and not something that can't be solved during training camp. They did pick up some really solid free agent acquisitions, but the free safety position still feels like one that is a big question. So it could all get sorted out. Maybe they've got the guys on the roster, but certainly something we should be watching.
All right, so let's see what Vegas thinks.
All right, as you see, they ain't mentioned Philadelphia yet. But the Washington football team, their secondary was an issue last year. They did address it by signing cornerback from the Eagles, Jackson III. Their free safety position is still up in the air, and I believe Landon Collins is always going to be a lot of liability in coverage. Now, when it comes to the run game, he's pretty doggone good. He's a in-box safety, even though he's tailed off a little bit at that as well. But that defensive front seven, man, dynamite, best in the league. Besides the Rams, because they have Aaron Donald, I think they got the best front seven in the league. Definitely when it comes to the pass rush. But I think they can be had when it comes to the run game. Those defensive tackles are not run stuffers. They're actually get after the quarterback type guys. Those two guys they got from Alabama. You know their names. So I think they can be had. If we can get our run game started with Saquon Barkley against Washington, hey, it's going to open up those passing lanes for Daniel Jones as well. Our offensive line just has to hold up. Offensive-wise, they got Diami Brown. They got Curtis Samuel. What's the other receiver? I can't believe I forgot his name. But from Ohio State, they're going to be pretty doggone good, man. They're going to be pretty doggone good, man. I'm just going to give it to you, man. You're going to have to play your A game to beat the football team this year. Only thing I see wrong with their offense is old Mr. Jekyll and Hyde Fitzpatrick, man. He's gonna do things. He's gonna do great things. Then he's gonna do some stupid things. So I just think we can have them. If we could get our run game started against the Washington football team, they could be had. Now you're looking at the screen now. They got the odds of which team can win the NFC East. And I can't believe they always do this with Dallas. Like, come on, man. You do that. You've been doing this the past 20 years, man. They've always failed you. They never could come through in a clutch. They could never win the big game. And they haven't won anything since 95. So I don't know where all this respect always comes to the Dallas Cowboys, but it's kind of sickening. You know, they got the number 2 spot with the Washington football team. I can agree with that. They've done very well in the draft, and they've done very, very well recruiting to that Washington football team for the past 2 to 3 years. And they've built a pretty doggone good team out there. Let's see what they can do with it. Now, the thing that's really getting at me, they got us with almost the same odds to win the NFC East with the Philadelphia Eagles. Are you kidding me? We got almost the same amount of odds to win the NFC East as the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you know that mess that they have over there in Philadelphia? All that we done this offseason, all we done with this draft, and we still don't get no respect. Man. This the media with the New York Giants, man. Hey, look, if you got this symbol, man, if you represent this symbol, man, you're gonna have to deal with some hate, man, because these people are crazy. You mean to tell me we are that much lower than the Cowboys in Washington? of winning the NFC East when we went 4-2 in the NFC East. It should have been 6-0 last year. With a squad that's nowhere near as good as this squad is gonna be. Nowhere near as good as this squad gonna be. Come on, man. You mean to tell me we almost on the same level playing field as the Philadelphia Eagles? All that garbage they got going on there, they got us on the same playing level as them. Man, we need to sweep this division this year, man. Let's sweep this division this year, man. Earn our damn respect.
Caesar Sportsbook by William Hill sees it as a tight race. Nobody has longer odds than 5-1 to win the division, but as you see, the Cowboys right now are the favorites with Washington right behind them. And RC, I want to pick up on the thought that you had, because I think it's a good one. The Cowboys have a lot of questions. They also seem to have a lot of potential. If all the answers come back yes, then the Cowboys could be really good. I would agree with that. But how would you assess the likelihood that
If was a fifth, we'll all be drunk, man.
is what winds up happening here?
You know what's crazy? I think it's highly likely. Listen, coming into last year and when teams or when we were having these conversations in the offseason and many of us were talking Super Bowl, I was one that wasn't. I said, okay, let's pump the brakes on the Cowboys a little bit. Let's see what happens going forward. But I like what they've done defensively.
So you mean to tell me just because they had a decent draft, they're talking Super Bowl in Dallas? You got a quarterback coming off a catastrophic injury. You got a defense that was just absolutely one of the worst ever. You draft Micah Parsons and get a DB from Kentucky and Joseph, and now all of a sudden you're Super Bowl contenders? Come on, man.
Defensively, when you think about Dan Quinn and the success he's had as a defensive coach, not as a head coach in what his defense was, but as a defensive coach, I believe his imprint will be on this team. Micah Parsons is a star, and I think when giving Dak the $40 million contract, you give Dak that $40 million contract and empower him. La'el Collins should.
A $40 million contract that should have only been 33 to 34 if they would have gave the man his money when he asked for it instead of try to lowball him. This is what this organization does. I don't care about that man that's on the screen. You got to know how to use him.
Be healthy. They should be healthier on the offensive line, and Ezekiel Elliott has something to prove. Is it the biggest variance between floor and?
Look at that, 473 points allowed last season, most in franchise history. They've missed the playoffs for 2 straight seasons. But all of a sudden, they draft this guy here on the screen, Micah Parsons. Shout out to Micah Parsons. No hate on him, but they draft Micah Parsons and a DB. Now all of a sudden, they're a Super Bowl contender. Man, please.
Ceiling, absolutely. I believe they will be closer to the ceiling, and by that fact, compete in the.
At Best Buy, we know everyone has a different pair of perfect headphones.
The playoffs.
All right, and so Mike T, as you look at that division right now, if you had to bet your palatial estate in Boca Raton, which team do you like in the NFC East in this coming season? Let's put them up there. Go ahead, Mike T. Who you got?
In tax-free Florida, I'm taking Dak Prescott and Dallas Cowboys, and here's why. If we were drafting just from the players in the NFC East, we're taking Dak Prescott and then draw a line green. I don't even know who the second best player is. Maybe it's Chase Young, but Dak Prescott is so much better as a football player than anybody else in that division. I agree with RC about defense and Dan Quinn.
What makes Dak Prescott so much better than any other player in the NFC East in our division? What makes him that much better than everybody? Like, there's just him and then there's just everybody else. Dak is not that type of quarterback. How many MVPs has Dak Prescott won? How many playoff games has Dak Prescott won? How many of his yards and touchdowns come from garbage time because they're down by 20 to 21 to 28 points and everybody just run the prevent. They just run the score up a little bit at the end. Come on, man.
But this is about the quarterback, and they have a great one.
The amount of this love affair for the Dallas Cowboys is sickening, man.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all, honestly. I grant you, based upon the significance of the position, that he's the best player in the division. Chase Young is closer to being the best edge rusher in the sport than Dak is to being the best quarterback.
Exactly. Thank you, Greeny. Somebody on here making some sense.
Jeff Darlington, go. Who you got in the division?
Look, I'm going to say Washington. Ryan just did a really good job, though, selling me on the Cowboys. I feel like this could be finally in a division that is just always overhyped. I feel like this is going to be a fun race toward the end between Washington and the Cowboys, because I'm with him on the Dak Prescott angle. Like,
You see how they just count us out, Giants fans? See how they just riding on that Dallas Cowboy and Washington football wave? Now it's going to be funny when everybody has to shut up when we sweep this division this year. But keep overrating us. Keep overlooking us, man.
that just elevates this team to a level, the empowerment of the contract, the whole deal. Like, I like what Ryan's saying there. I'll stick with Washington because I don't want to mess up the producers there with the graphic and whatnot, but I like what Ryan is saying.
Well, I'll take that and I'll raise it. I think Washington is one of the elite teams in the NFC. I genuinely do. RC, I think they're being sold short. That defense is great. It's not good, and it's getting better. And they've added some pieces on the offense. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, if he is not a superstar, which he is obviously not, I think can be at least an average quarterback. They had the worst quarterback play in the NFL last year, 32nd out of 32 teams by QBR. If they're just decent at that position, I think they're an excellent team.
Which is true. But as you see Big Blue Nation, look at this, man. You see the amount of disrespect that we always get, that we always have to take, the amount of venom we always have to take. When they all picked their team to win the NFC East, nobody mentioned us at all. Not even a mention. They didn't even pick us to no one picked us to win, but damn, we didn't even get a mention as being a competitor in the NFC East. It's Cowboys or Washington football team. Cowboys, Washington football team. Washington football team we beat twice in the past 3 years. I think we've beaten them 6 times. Dallas, we should have beat them twice if the refs didn't cheat us out of 3 touchdowns the first game. With a squad that's nowhere near as good as this squad is going to be coming up. Nowhere near. We've improved the most by a long shot. You mean to tell me we can't even get a mention? Not even a mention? Man, let me tell y'all something, man. Big Blue Nation, stand up, man. Stand up for our Giants, man. We're going to win this NFC East. And we may sweep this NFC East. At the very least, 5-1. I'm telling you that now. It's sad, man. It's sad what we got to go through, man. We get no respect. Rodney Dangerfield of the NFL, especially of the NFC East, no respect. Everybody want to ride the wave. Everybody want to ride the new wave with the Washington football team. They're going to have to prove it to me first. They're going to have to prove to me they're not with the Washington football team that we know for years. Cowboys fans. They do this every year for y'all. Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. Y'all sign one person, Super Bowl. Oh, y'all signed Dak Prescott, who's already been on the team and been the quarterback for the team the whole time y'all been missing the playoffs and underperforming. Y'all signed him to a new contract. Oh, we going to the Super Bowl. What's changed? What has changed? Oh, you drafted Micah Parsons. You drafted a little linebacker from LSU. You drafted Joseph from Kentucky. Is that enough to change your whole defensive outlook? Is that enough to change what's in here? Y'all boys ain't got heart like we do. Y'all don't get coached like we do. Y'all don't get teached like we do. So I'm saying 6-0 in the NFC East, and we go at least 11-6, maybe 12-5. And maybe even get a playoff victory, a home playoff victory. Who knows? But this venom that everybody spits against us in the NFC East, we're almost on the same playing field as the Philadelphia Eagles? Are you kidding me? We're on the same playing field as the Philadelphia Eagles. Have y'all lost y'all ever-loving minds? I hope we whoop everybody in the NFC East, especially the Cowboys and the Eagles. We're going to whoop them twice. And we always get the Washington football team twice, so that's why I say 6-0. So That was the get up take, man. I can't take anymore. I'm not looking at any more of this video. It's a bunch of BS. And I'm not going to look at any more of it because we all know who the team is to fear over the NFC East. Y'all making trades with each other to stop us to get the players that we want. You're making trades with each other. And guess what? You still lost. We still got a playmaker at 20. We still got an edge rusher at 50. You can't stop us, man. You can't stop us. New York Giants winning the NFC East this year. Put your money on it. New York Giants all day. I don't care about no damn Washington football team. I don't care about no damn Cowboys. Especially the damn Cowboys. They talk about them dudes every year and they don't do nothing. Give us our damn respect. And if not, here comes the judge. We're going to take it. But, man, this has been another reaction of Big Pat Sports Talk. You know I'm going to talk my talk no matter what anybody thought. Especially these clowns who think that we don't even have a chance to get the division. We're on the same playing field as the Philadelphia Eagles. Are y'all crazy? Are y'all crazy? But thank you for tuning in, man. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for being a part of Big Pat Sports Talk. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell for more videos like these. Until the next time, peace.